Sir, just check. Echo is heard. Now is it better? Echo is heard.
Can you do one thing? Can you switch off your this thing and just come there?
Okay, I'll mute myself.
Now it is okay. That audio still on of that? You switch it off. No.
Yes.
Switch it off.
Now?
Okay, now, okay, what you can do, you can now sit outside, because if you need to be present, then you can be outside. हाँ, उधर से हो जाएगा, वहां से एको नहीं आएगा ना फिर.
वहां से एको नहीं आएगा.
हाँ, वहां कर दीजिए फिर आप.
And meanwhile you are seeing clearly.
हाँ, दिख रहा है, ठीक है, तुम वो कर लो. हाँ.
Okay, then let's start today's session.
How many aspirants are present?
Around 30 and it's hovering around 30.
Around 30. So that's all we were expecting?
They will increase by the time 5 minutes are over, I guess.
Let us wait for this as well.
Yes.
We are getting some more or no?
Yes.
I hope this will be on record.
Yes.
Okay.
And the cloud recording thing on.
Some more have joined.
They are joining, sir.
They are joining. They are in a position to raise doubts in between.
Yes, they can type it. There's a screen wherein they can type their doubts, like the social media doubts hearing section where they type at the right hand side.
You can take You can take them.
I can take them.
Okay, okay, fine. So what you can do while I am continuing you know, the process of explaining, you can keep raising the questions. I'll keep answering them, and thereafter, later on, we'll take on the overall questions. Fine. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So we'll start. Good evening, boys and girls. Today, I shall be talking to you about two important issues which are quite relevant for the youth today. And I have been getting a lot of questions connected with these. And that is why I have taken on these topics. And I will try and explain to you these issues in simple words. And the topics we will talk about are overthinking and stress management. So now, before we start understanding these topics and trying to resolve the issues, the problems which are created, let us first understand one important thing, and that is as to who we are. And now, a lot of us think that we are our mind. Now, this is not true. We are not our mind. We are something above that. Now, I am not getting into any philosophy. I'm just getting into very simple facts which can be learned from experience. So you can experience that you can control your thoughts. You can tell your mind to calm down. You can switch your mind from thinking about one aspect to another. Examples are that when we meditate, we focus on our breath or some point of concentration or something like that. So we can do that. And because of that, our thoughts, which are tending to wander everywhere, do get somewhat focused. Similarly, if you are playing table tennis, then it is very definite that you cannot think about the unpaid bills you have, because you will have to focus on the table tennis ball, and that will prevent you from thinking about so many other problems that you have. So in this manner, these are examples which give you a very clear indicator that our mind can be controlled. Now, we have to remember one very important thing, that our mind is a very good tool to be used for our betterment, but it is a very poor master. If we subordinate ourselves to our minds, then we will have problems. And the problems of overthinking and the stress and all are somewhat related. So let us now move on to understanding what is overthinking. Now, overthinking refers to the process of repetitive, unproductive thoughts. Generally, what the thoughts are of the kind that you are regretting the past, some mistake you made, or some mistake someone else made, or somebody hurt you, and you are replaying those thoughts again and again in your mind, and it will lead you nowhere. Similarly, you could be worrying about the future. Now, regardless of whether we are thinking about the past or we are thinking about worrying about the future, rather, we are caught up in a constant thought loop that seems to have no resolution whatsoever. So, when a person is overthinking, he or she is thinking about past or future without coming to any solution. In simple words, he or she is wasting time in an unproductive exercise. Now, what are the reasons for overthinking? Take this.
Set items which you have the filter. Sorry for a few minutes of delay. Sir, can continue.
Sorry, and I'm extremely sorry for our inefficiency. Okay. So we will move on. The reasons could be that when we are replaying our past own actions, we have something misgiving that we had done something wrong. And because of that, we will be having negative thoughts about ourselves, which will lead to lowered self-esteem. And if we are thinking about past someone, then we would be getting negative thoughts about that person, and both these things are not helpful. If we are thinking about the future, then these things could be like some important examination, some job interview. It could be long-term things like future career, business, marriage. Now, whatever the things that are there in the future, there are two things which are very relevant, which make us worry and overthink. And that is, these things are important to us, and the result is uncertain. We are not sure as to what is going to be the result. Now, our mind has been designed in such a manner that it likes to have control. Now, to get control, it wants to resolve the uncertainty. And that is why it gets into the worry loop and creates problems for itself and for the entire body. Now, more important a thing is, the greater would be the reason to worry. Now, you see, overthinking is not all bad. There are some good parts about it. For example, you would have all experienced that the evening prior to an important examination or an interview, your focus is very good. Your ability to concentrate is very high. The adrenaline glands are working good. So this concentration, which the body needs, after all, when you are in this worry state or stress state, the adrenaline glands are working and the body has been placed in the fight or flight mode by nature. So this improves our concentration, and because of that, we are very productive for that short duration, and it gives us good results, good performance rather. Result is not in our hands. So our performance is improved. Now, this is the good part of it. Now, there are, of course, a lot of bad parts, and that is why we are talking about this topic. And that is wasted time, wasted energy, sleeplessness, irritability, lowered productivity, and in very high cases of overthinking, a person can get into depression. Now, before I get into explanation of the remedies, let me explain a very simple concept, a very rational concept, which would be relevant to understanding this problem and leading to a resolution. Now, let us understand that there are a lot of things in our lives which are relevant for us. Now, they can be categorized as things which are in our direct control, things which are in our indirect control and things which are on which we have no control. Now let us see what are the things in our direct control. In our direct control are just two simple things, and that is our thoughts and our actions. That is all. And what is in our indirect control is the indirect influence we exercise on others because of our uh, thoughts and actions. The aspects of no control are things like weather, oil prices, government policies, examination results, and very important, please remember this, is our past actions. Because what a deed has been done, it cannot be reversed. So it comes under the category of no control. So rational thinking tells us that we should focus our energies on things which are under our direct control. Let us take examples from our lives related to you people. You could be a student, you could be a worker. Now, a competent student should focus his or her energies on academics and making himself or herself more competent. Now, as the person does so, the person's energies are focused towards things in direct control. So what will happen that the person is very likely to become a competent student. Now, once he becomes a competent student, there are very high chances that his friends, colleagues, and all that would come to seek his help as to how he is doing things, because they find that this guy is quite clear-headed. So they seek his help and advice. As a result, his influence increases. And this is the dimension of indirect control. Similarly, a good worker focuses on doing his job well. And once again, his co-workers, juniors, and sometimes even seniors come to him for advice. As a result, his influence increases. That is, his indirect control is increasing. As life would progress, or you can see the societies grow, you would identify that there are workers who rise in high positions of power, and then their indirect control has increased considerably. Like when you look at Elon Musk or Tata or Adani, Ambani, you see that their influence is much larger, affecting a very large part of the society. And similarly, the elected political leaders. So, but their influence is also indirect, and that is primarily through their own thoughts and actions. So their area of influence is increasing indirectly. So this is something which we should be very clear about. So rational thinking explains to us the futility of focusing our energy on the things which come under the category of no control. Thus, by thinking rationally, we can avoid falling in the trap of overthinking. And I call it the proactive behavior. In my understanding, a proactive person focuses on things which are in his direct control and not at all on things on which he has no control. The focus on no control things is of a reactive person, and that person is not going to be very productive or effective in his or her life. Anyway, let's leave this aspect if you can understand a resolution of your problem through this means, that's very good. But let us come to some simple things. The simple things is we leave the past worries because there's no point, because I've explained you've got no control over it. There's no fretting over it is not going to resolve anything. If you have learned some lesson from it, that's good. But apart from that, replaying the actions of others and your own actions is not going to help you at all. So just switch it off. And as I told in the beginning, we can control our minds and it can be done. So that's what you should do. Now coming on to the issue of worries for future. Now we had identified that there are two aspects which are very much present in the things which cause worry. One is the aspect that it is important to us, and other is that the result is uncertain. So what we can do is we can tell our minds that the result is not important. It can be done. I will come to examples. And you can also reduce the uncertainty. And uncertainty can be reduced by just thinking that I am definitely going to flunk this interview or this exam. Now, if you clear it, it is a bonus. So things become easier. So let us take an example of defense aspirants you're going for SSC. So what is in your direct control? The focus you can get on, you can improve your language, you can improve your reasoning, you can improve your academic ability, you can improve your general knowledge, you can improve your physical fitness. Now, all these aspects are under your direct control. These things you can improve and you should do so. Now come on to the worry part. That stage one screening, what is going to happen? Kya hoga? Now, if you see the statistics of some of the entries, you will find that over 90% of the candidates get screened out. So what you say, you tell your mind that I am going to do my bit. I am going to focus on whatever I can do. You know, like I did in your preparation. I will do my reasoning test well. I will go through the PPTT part well. And thereafter, I will be having no expectations, and I will think that no, I'll get screened out because statistics say that 90% people get screened out. So you are likely to be one of those. So if you get screened in, it is a bonus. So in this manner, the uncertainty part which was causing you worry, you have been able to greatly suppress in an artificial manner. It can be done. You can try it out for yourself. Now, assuming that you have got screened in, once again, do not take any pressure to get selected, because you know that very few will get selected. Most of the persons will get rejected. And what is in your direct control is your performance. So focus on that and keep doing whatever is there in your hand well. Once again, a point will come that, you know, there will be some mistakes will occur. Some question is asked, you knew the answer, but it did not come to your mind. You were given a math problem, you hurried up and you gave a wrong answer. In the GTO tasks, in the group planning exercise, you missed out some aspect. Now, when we get into the overthinking mode, then we are fretting about what we did in the past mistake, and allow that to affect our present or future conduct. Now, once again, as I told you, whatever has happened in the past, what happened 1 minute before, you have no control over it. So understand that since you can't alter it at all, it is better to focus on the present and move on. That will give you good results. I would here like to remind you of one very popular movie which I think most of you have seen, and that is Three Idiots. In that, Rancho, the Amir Khan great character, used to say, "All is well." And he was suggesting how we can calm our mind and tell it that सब कुछ ठीक ठाक है, and then the mind believes that, and you can do things in a better manner. It is a definitely effective technique. There are other remedies. That is, try and focus on actions rather than thoughts. Like in any situation, think what you can do. And because worry is not going to help, and action would be helpful. So do that. And you as we talked in the beginning, mind cannot focus simultaneously on two, three things. If you make the mind focus on action, it will go away from the worrisome thoughts. Other things which you can do are meditation, sports, games, exercises. They are all good things. They will help you calm your mind. They are good diversions, and all these things, physical activities, they make the body generate endorphins, which are a feel good, hormone, and we feel good about ourselves, and it makes us feel mentally better and gets us into a happier state. Also, what we can do is you can focus on study, on work, or any creative activity. All these things are also very akin to meditation. Like if you are listening to this talk now with total focus, it is equivalent to meditation because you are incapable of allowing your mind to divert to other things. Similarly, it can be done for work or any other activity which is of a productive nature. And when you do all these things, what will happen is your capabilities will improve, your personal effectiveness will enhance, and you will become a more competent person and a calmer person. So these are things which can be done. Yogita, do we have some questions have come up till now?
Uh, yes, sir. Few people have started asking questions. I would request the audience to keep asking questions in the column, that is the chat.
Okay.
We
So
are super short. Perhaps anonymous. The name is super short. Is asking, what is the difference between being confident and being overconfident?
confident and overconfident. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. What is the
Okay.
difference between being confident and being overconfident?
Okay. See, uh, being confident is having the confidence in your abilities. Let us say you are a cricketer, and almost Indians are very fond of cricket. So, if in your net practice, if a particular type of ball is bowled and you are able to hit a six 95% of the times on that ball, then you have the confidence to do it in a match also. Because here, your confidence is built upon concrete ability and competence. Now, let us take a batsman who can, hit this ball 5% of the time for a six, and he goes for that shot in a match. There are chances that he may succeed, but there are more than 95% chances that he will not succeed. Now, if he goes on for this shot, that would be overconfidence. This would be a sense of bravado because his competence is not adequate to be playing that shot. And this analogy, I think you can apply to various things in life. I hope this question has been answered.
Vidyasagar Chongtam is asking, sir, how should we, how should freshers approach their first ever SSB related to stress?
I told exactly that in the example which I was reading out, that you focus on the things which are in your control, direct control. That is your abilities. You improve your communication skills, you improve your reasoning ability, you improve your knowledge and understanding of your core subjects, you improve your general knowledge and current affairs, improve your physical fitness, and this is good enough. They should make you confident. Now go confidently and attend your SSB without taking any pressure whatsoever of getting screened in or getting selected. Go with the mindset that you will get screened out and also that you will not get selected. And then just go through without taking any pressure. And once you make mistakes during the course of the SSB, that is fine. Just move on and focus on the next task which is in hand, because mistakes all of us keep making. This would be the right attitude for a fresher.
Nisak Shikalgar is asking, can we take stress as a par? He's asking stress as a booster. जब एग्जाम आती है तब स्ट्रेस होता है, बट तब भी ट्रू पोटेंशियल बाहर आता है.
What we will do, Yogita, we will hold on to this question. Any questions related to this overthinking part, if they're there, I will take them on. Otherwise, I will move on to stress management and then we will take on these questions.
Overthinking part, I got one Sajal Kumar who is writing, how not to rush through the uncertainties of exams and interviews.
How to?
How not to rush through the uncertainties.
I am saying that you should reduce the uncertainty, because the uncertainty is causing the worry, because mind wants control, it wants firmness, clarity. क्या होगा? वो clarity है नहीं, उसको reduce करना है. वो reduce नहीं होगी तो worry होता रहेगा. That you will get caught in the overthinking loop. And the answer is not there because जब तक result नहीं आएगा आपको पता ही नहीं क्या होगा. Understood? So do not try to increase the uncertainty. You have to artificially reduce the uncertainty by telling yourself that definitely you will fail.
Similar question, like Sachin Singh is asking, sir, he had been waiting for his Air Force entry and he cannot concentrate on other exams. There is already a delay of almost 3 years. He's asking those uncertainties related to exams and entries and interviews and dates.
Yes. Now, this is a very good example for discussion for the benefit of all those who are attending. You see, here is a person, he is worrying about something which is in the control of the government and he can do nothing about it. So this is an outlook of a reactive person. A reactive person focuses energies on things on which he has no control. He can keep worrying, he can resolve nothing about it. So if this is the truth, a proactive person will not even think one bit about it. Once you have written an examination, whatever you had to do, you have done. Now the result, when it comes, what form it is, whether you are successful, not successful, by your focusing energies on it, you can't change it even 1 millimeter. So rationality says that you should not be focusing on these things. This is the attitude of a proactive behavior. This is what development of proactive nature is all about. This is what I was talking about, direct control, indirect control, and no control aspects.
Almost
Okay,
similar.
just hold on, Yogita, hold on. I have not finished. Now, I was saying for most people who have not been able to develop their proactive muscles to an adequate degree, they can look for these measures of the three idiots type, all is well, or the aspects of reducing the importance and reducing the uncertainty. So these are the things which we can do. Understood?
Sir, this is regarding daydreaming. Rising Stars is asking, is daydreaming like thinking about achieving money, pride, a kind of overthinking?
I have not understood the question.
Sir, is daydreaming like achieving money, this will happen, that will happen, pride, a kind of overthinking?
No, these are thoughts which are, you are visualizing that one day you may reach there. So these are related to ambitions. Sometimes ambitions may be unrealistic, but a genuine achievers believe in their dreams, and they are motivated and determined to achieve their dreams. That is what will make you a winner in life. Because if you do not have dreams, if you do not have goals which are worthwhile, then how do we progress? How do we progress in career? How do we progress in our personal lives? If you are quite aimless, and if that kind of situation is there for a person, then what will happen is that the person's life will get controlled by the society or the environment. Parents, colleagues, others will keep controlling that person's life because he doesn't have any clear-cut aims, objectives, or dreams, so to say. So this is not overthinking, but just wasting time on, जैसे वो मुंगेरी लाल के हसीन सपने वाली बात है, and doing nothing about them, that is overthinking and a time wastage kind of exercise. That is something which should not be indulged in. Okay, I think we have had enough questions. We will move on, and we will talk about stress management, and then we will take on other questions. Fine. So before in the beginning of the first part of overthinking, I had talked about that we are not our mind, and mind is a tool to be used and not allowed to be the master of us, and then we'll get problems. So now the first thing which I would like to talk about in stress management is that how does an individual's mental capacity and stress tolerance increase? Now, most of us in the society would expect a senior military officer or a CEO of a big company or a senior political leader handling responsible appointment to have high mental capacity and high stress tolerance. Now, how has this mental capacity or stress tolerance increased? It has increased through the principle of progressive overload. Because once upon a time, this person was also a small kid and a student or a worker, as all of you are. So this brings us to the other concept that we can treat the mental muscles like physical muscles. Physical muscles are improved by the principle of progressive overload. So if you overload your muscle, then what happens? The message goes to the mind that this part of the body, let's say if you're a runner, so your legs are being used considerably. So the message will go to the brain that here there is a lot of stress is there in the body. So now what will do, the body will take actions to send more, blood circulation, it will increase, it will send more oxygen to take on that stress which is taking place at that time. And later when you are at rest, it will send proteins and all, build muscles so that those areas will become stronger and will get prepared to take on the load when you train next time. So, in this manner, if the load is progressive and it is manageable for the body, then the muscle strength and endurance is consistently improving. Now, we can overdo it, and let us say, you run a marathon in the morning, and then in the evening you go and do a lot of squats, and you are thinking that your muscle strength will improve, but this will not happen, because the thing is that the muscles need rest to rebuild. It is at the time of rest that the protein intake will get assimilated, the muscle fibers which have broken will get built up, and after rest, the muscles would be in a good position to undertake the load. So, so long as the physical activity is progressively improving your strength and endurance, the stress is good. But when it is, breaking you down and you are unable to cope up, that means you have reached a state of overtraining, the kind of example which I gave. Now, similar thing is happening with the mental capacity also. The mental muscles, you went for an examination, you prepared well, you performed well, and you got a good result. Now, what has happened is that your mental capacity has improved, because in test conditions, you took on the stress, you prepared well, you got more focused, you performed well, and after performing well, your result has given you a mental boost, your confidence has also risen. So this stress has been all positive. Now, like the example you gave, evening prior to the examination, the adrenaline was making you work hard and your concentration was good and you performed well because of that. Now let us take an example that you want to write examination day in and out, day out for 1 month continuous. Now what would happen is your performance will not every day वो कयामत की रात वाला ability नहीं रहेगा, because you will, with this constant adrenaline rise, increase cortisol in the body. This is a physiological aspect. I generally try to avoid technical jargon, but that's what happens. You can relate. वो ज़्यादा हो जाएगा, So this would be over stress. Like the example I gave for marathon and again lifting weights in the evening. So mentally भी वही हो गया है. आपके ऊपर जो है ओवर स्ट्रेस हो गया है, एंड दैट विल have an adverse impact on your performance. I will give some more examples of good stress. A lot of us enjoy risk-taking activities, adventure activities, racing. Successful completion of a task, I told you, it gives us this thing like a person has run a marathon, he feels good about it, that he can do it. It improves self-confidence. For us as infantry people, when we did our commando course, we felt, yes, good, I can do all these things. I will give one example which will be interesting for you to realize and understand this good stress and bad stress. Let us say, we have this lot of these highways and expressways have got built, and where you can drive at 100 kilometers per hour. And it can happen that you are driving at 100 kilometers per hour and there is no vehicle at all. You're just driving alone. There are chances that a person can go off to sleep and land up in an accident. Whereas if he kept coming across 2-3 vehicles, he had to change some lanes, at times brake, at times give a dipper to take go ahead and all that. That would have been good stress. It keeps the mind at least somewhat occupied. Otherwise, it gets into a complacent state, and that can be more risky. So this stress is good stress. The some traffic on the road is good stress. Now, it can convert into bad stress if continuously a person has to keep pressing the clutch, brake and honking and all that. And he does this kind of driving for a stretch of 2 hours, he would be stressed out, because here the good stress has reached a state of bad stress. So we are, so now this is how good stress has got converted into bad stress. So all of us can identify this difference. And bad stress can be through two forms. It could be through intensity, or it could be through duration. Let us say suddenly your boss tells you that from pink slip, we call it, that you are out. He can't give you, like when we had this lockdown and all, and so many companies closed down, they didn't have any money to pay, there was no work going on. So people got laid off. Now, this was a sudden stress. Now, this can be very bad. Very bad can be, like a person comes home from work, and the husband and the wife both are working, and they have, for some or the other reason, they have fights. Petty fights, small issues. Khana theek nahi hai, with time se na, or something or other, bill payment nahi hua, kuch something or the other. And both of them are, mentally, before they're reaching home, they're prepared कि कोई झगड़ा होने वाला छोटा मोटा. Now this, just because of the the continuity part कि ये daily होना है, that can be as bad as job loss. छोटा छोटा झगड़ा, खाना ठीक नहीं बना and all that now can be as bad. So both the intensity and the duration can be bad stress. Now, some of the symptoms of bad stress can be excessive worrying that we have talked about, inability to focus, like most of you are feeling, like the person gave an example that he's thinking the result aaya nahi hai, 2 saal ho gaye, de diya, kya hoga and all that. So he's focusing energies on things which are not in his control, and he's worrying, and there's no end to it. That's what one should not do. There could be twitching, trembling, or shaking, racing of heart palpitations, panic attacks, nausea, stiffness or tension in the body, sweating, insomnia, restlessness, fatigue. We have the chronic fatigue syndrome, irritability, agitation. A person in both by overthinking or under stress can reach a state of depression, where simple things in his own hands may not work. So what we can do to manage stress? That is bad stress, I said. Good stress is, we have understood, that's good for us. Taking a simple break is often a very good idea. Other things are very simple. Good sleep. Try and get a good sleep. Eat healthy, not binging on carbohydrate, chips, and all that. No, junk food. No, it make you overweight. It'll clog your arteries and all that. Not good. Drink plenty of water and fluids. Deep breathing, telling your mind that all is well, or this difficult situation will also end. Very important thing, take support of family and friends. Don't keep things bottled up in your mind. Just by sharing, the pressure gets released. Taking psychiatric help can also be a good idea if the symptoms are serious and you are tending to go into a depression. Uh, Something which I would advise to the population of Ukraine at the time would be that create an effigy of Putin and bang it up daily. Talk about the war with the family and friends and tell your minds that this crisis will end soon. This is all I had to say. Now I am open to questions of whatever kind that you may have.
Yes, sir. A few of the questions have already come to us. Sir, I am a boxer, but I have not been into a team sport to relieve my stress. Sir, will this affect my SSB?
देखो ये क्वेश्चन जो है ना, जो जिंदगी में हर चीज को एसएसबी में घुसा देते हैं ना, they are very ideal candidates to get rejected. That means they are under stress of SSB. You have to lead your life as per your choices, your desires. So just because you liked boxing, you became a boxer and you are a successful boxer, don't start thinking that only people who play hockey, football, or basketball will make good officers because they are indulging in team sports. Not at all. Don't think that way. Because you can be an effective team member. There is just no problem. Fine. So don't think that way. Yeah.
Krishna is asking, does meditation help reduce stress and overthinking? I am doing it, but just an opinion.
Yes, meditation does help. I said in the remedies, but to most of my students, I tell them not to get involved in meditation. The reason is there are, like when you play sport, that is like meditation. Like I gave the example of table tennis, you can focus only on the ball. So that's equivalent to meditation. And if you are studying something with total focus, that's also equivalent of meditation. So when you can indulge in so many, very productive exercises which are needed by you in your present life as a student or a worker, might as well do that because time in life is limited. Otherwise, meditation is good. I don't do meditation because when I do play my sport, I do my work, I think I'm able to focus pretty well on those things, and that is as good as meditation. Yeah, next question, please.
Sir, Vishal Verma is asking, sir, I am giving my JEE mains this year, and that too between Army and Navy technical entries. They are all the SSBs are also scheduled. Sir, now I have come under tremendous pressure. I want to give my 100% in SSBs. Plus, I want to focus in on my JEE also. This is causing me a lot of stress.
Firstly, get this stress out of the system because the stress will help you not even one bit. Let me assure you, if you are a good student and if you do well in your JEE, you will be selected for your NDA or technical entry scheme also. And if you are incompetent in that JEE exam, then you are likely to be rejected by the NDA or technical entry scheme as SSB also. Because if you do well in your JEE exam, that means you are a competent student. And what the selection system is looking for is competent people. So what, rather than taking this pressure and worrying and all that, that's nothing great. Just be physically okay and keep your GK okay. That is something which is very much doable, and it is also a part of being a good student. Yes, next question, please.
Rohit K is asking, sir, again a kind of dream, sir, I have a dream, my performing my level best in all the tests, which brings stress. So, associated with big aims and all, stress associated with big aims.
Having big aims is a good thing, it's not a bad thing. Thing is that what you have to realize is that whatever you do has to be step by step. If you read my book, my fitness guide or the practical guide to become an officer, you will realize that any person who can't even run 1 kilometer can one day run a marathon, because the body is capable of doing that. But you can't do that in 15-20 days. That would be unrealistic. So you have to set yourself realistic goals, work systematically towards them, because there are certain facts that in one day there are only 24 hours. And to be productive, we need to sleep well for at least 6 to 8 hours. And in the balance waking hours only, you can do your things. And mind you, if you do those things, your studies and all, with good focus, you will be able to achieve whatever the most competent people have achieved. Because, neither, all the famous guys of who are academic toppers and all that, they also had 24 hours only in the day. They didn't have any extra time available to them. So by step methods, you can move on, and that is what you should do. And once again, think of the concept that I told you, direct control, indirect control, and no control. So focus your energies on that. नो कंट्रोल वाली चीजें है ना, रिजल्ट में क्या होगा, जेई एग्जाम में क्या होगा, एसएसबी में क्या होगा, उसको एनर्जी क्यों लगा रहे हो? आप जो उस पर फोकस कर सकते हो उस पर करो ना. And those people who focus their energies on what they can control, they are the successful guys in life. Yes, please. Next question.
Yes, sir. Sir, how to tackle that situation? लोग क्या कहेंगे? Neighbors or relatives, they might taunt us.
This is an excellent question. क्या आपका कोई कंट्रोल है अपने पड़ोसी क्या कहते हैं उसके ऊपर? नहीं है. आपका कंट्रोल आपके एक्शंस के ऊपर है. आप अपने एक्शंस ठीक रखिए. अगर आप ऐसा काम नहीं करेंगे जिस पे उंगली उठाई जाए, तो उंगली नहीं उठाई जाएगी. लेकिन अगर फिर भी उंगली उठाई जाती है, तो well, then forget about it. You can't, get bothered about those things. So many of you would be knowing, if you follow me, I write things on Quora, I write on Instagram. There are so many people trolling me. So you think, should I get bothered about them? Okay. You can't get bothered about that so long as you are doing the things right as per your perception. And that is all what we can do. Because all these things would be exercises in futility. They come under the category of things which are under no control.
Abhinav Jaswal and Himanshu Nautiyal have asked kind of similar questions. They had been screened out many times. In fact, Himanshu Nautiyal is writing 8 attempts and 8 attempts all screen out. And this is, I think, because of nervousness and overthinking, and how to overcome this screen out.
I have already explained the complete thing. So, I mean, I can only repeat that you focus on self-improvement. तुम्हारे हाथ में क्या है भाई, स्क्रीन आउट हो रहे हो तो क्या क्या चीजें उसमें हैं। सबसे पहले OIR टेस्ट है, तो रीजनिंग टेस्ट में परफॉर्मेंस अपनी अच्छी करो। टारगेट अ स्कोर ऑफ 12 plus of 80%. So that thing gets taken care of. Thereafter, improve your communication skills, improve English. English is, it will help you elsewhere in life as well because it's a global language. Improve your expression, improve your general awareness, your academic knowledge. These are the things which you can do. And once you do these things, then your chances of getting screened in would be good. You can also listen to our video posted on our YouTube channel about the screening process. I've explained the small points which right from beginning till end, which will occur there, and you can handle those things sensibly and hope to get selected. And as I said, don't put pressure on yourself to get screened in, because the pressure is going to act only negatively. It will not do you good. Fine? Yeah, next question.
Yes, sir. Jana is writing, sir, I have prepared a list of things which I have to improve. While improving, I am not able to exactly execute my plans. What can I do about it?
See, that means you have a problem of motivation. If you cannot execute your plans, you come under the category of daydreamer that we said, na, Mungari Lal ke Haseen Sapne. उसमें तो बात बनने वाली नहीं है ना। तो ड्रीम्स रखो और रखे दम रखो, फिर उनको मोटिवेशन रखो उनको अकम्प्लिश करने का। एंड मेक अ प्लान। यू सेड you're making a plan, but if you're not executing it, so you see the problem is there of your motivation or determination, and these are the things which you have to resolve yourself. कोई मार्केट में मोटिवेशन का चिप नहीं मिलता और विल पावर बढ़ाने का भी कोई चिप मिलना शुरू नहीं हुआ है, and I don't think you will ever get it in the next 50 years also. तो आपको ये चिप जो है अपने खुद से जनरेट करने पड़ेंगे, ये बाहर से नहीं आ सकते। या नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन।
Yes, sir. Megha Pandale is asking, sir, this is my last attempt of CDS, the coming CDS, and if what if I do not clear that? That what if is bothering her? It is bothering
So
me.
you should, as I told in this example, you should focus on what you can do. Prepare best possible, पूरा एनर्जी लगा के रखो और ये अज्यूम करके चलो कि आप 100% फेल हो गए, तो स्ट्रेस क्रिएट नहीं होगा। जब आपको पता है फेल ही होना है, अपना काम करो आप बस, तो स्ट्रेस वुड नॉट बी देयर and you will find to your surprise that you will clear the exam also then. Fine. And you can read the stories of so many of our successful candidates on our YouTube. कैसे उनको बताया कि प्रेशर तो सिलेक्शन का, तो वो सेलेक्ट हो गए।
Yes, sir. Almost similar question is asked by Harshit. How to build confidence during preparation? What if I do not get recommended? What if I do not get recommended? Those thoughts are coming.
Those thoughts I have answered already. You know, worry का वो result is important and uncertain. तो उन दोनों चीजों को रिड्यूस करो, इंपॉर्टेंस को रिड्यूस करो ये करके कि ये इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, मैं करियर में कर ही लूंगा अपना काम, और अनसर्टेनिटी को रिड्यूस करो इससे कि मैं फेल ही हो जाऊंगा। So then this problems will not bother you, but a better remedy is to develop proactive nature, which I said in the beginning ना, वो नो कंट्रोल अगर डायरेक्ट कंट्रोल वाली चीजों पर फोकस करो, इनके ऊपर फोकस करने से फायदा नहीं है कुछ। Get this in your nature. I know it's difficult for most people. That's why I said I talked about other remedies, but primarily the best remedies are the ones to understand, imbibe this concept of direct control, indirect control, and no control things in life.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Saksham Bharadwaj is asking, sir, how to focus on one task at a time without worrying about the other task or worrying to complete and plan the other task. I face this problem when I have to complete, let's say, one subject or one portion, then suddenly thoughts of other things comes in my mind. So this causes restlessness. This compartmentalization he is might be talking about.
कंपार्टमेंटलाइजेशन करने की जरूरत है। आप एक बात बताओ, अगर आपको एक जो है एक डंडा जो है हाथ में अगर आपको बैलेंस करना, कर सकते हो ना डंडा हाथ में बैलेंस, तो अगर आप उस डंडे को बैलेंस करोगे तो कहीं आप सोच सकते हो दूसरी चीजों के बारे में कि मेरे एग्जाम में क्या होगा, मेरे उसमें क्या होगा, कि मुझे भूख लग रही है, मुझे प्यास लग रही है। आप नहीं कर सकते। तो what you have to do is improve your ability to focus on the task in hand. देखो यार, मैंने बोला ना मस्क के पास भी 24 ही घंटे हैं दिन में। वो अपने जो उसके रोल्स हैं जिंदगी में उन पे फोकस अच्छे से कर पाता है। वही आपको करने की जरूरत है। उतना भी आप करोगे तो बात बनेगी। ये जो है एक्स्ट्रा वरीज करने का जो टाइम आपने जिंदगी में अपने डाल के रखा हुआ है ना अपने प्रेजेंट जनरेशन की, इसीलिए मैं ये बात कर रहा हूं कि ये सबसे बड़ी बेवकूफी है। इससे प्रोडक्टिविटी होगा नहीं आपकी कुछ। और एक और बहुत बड़ा मिसकंसेप्शन है हमारे स्टूडेंट जनरेशन में कि वो सोचते हैं पढ़ाई बहुत ज्यादा है। पढ़ाई बहुत ज्यादा नहीं है। ओवरऑल आप लोगों का काम करने का तरीका जो है वो फॉल्टी है। इस वजह से आप जो है ठीक प्रोग्रेस नहीं कर पाते। अगर आप ढंग से फोकस करके चलोगे तो प्रॉब्लमें नहीं होंगी। एंड आई फाइंड so many of my good students, they don't have this problem at all. They have got plenty of energy left to indulge in reading stuff which is out of syllabus, and indulging in certain activities which are not part of the normal curriculum. It can be done, but it is the people who are wasting time worrying, taking stress for no reason, and what it will be digressing. What I would suggest all of you, please go to our website and read about the time management matrix. So where we have explained, the activities which are in quadrant 1, 2, 3, and 4. So such people spend a lot of time in quadrant 3 and 4 activities. सोशल मीडिया शुरू किया तो उसको ही देखते जा रहे हैं ना, उससे क्या फायदा होने वाला है। और बजा की जब वो सोशल मीडिया में कर रहा, अब फिर वरी करने लगे हैं कि अरे 2 घंटे इसमें वेस्ट कर दिए, अब पढ़ाई होमवर्क भी करना था। अब माँ भी डांटेगी, टीचर भी डांटेगी, तो डांटेगी। और बिना पढ़े वढ़े जो है आप सब्जेक्ट कुछ जंक लिख के जाओगे और फिर कहोगे यार मैं आप लोगों के साथ इतना इंटरेक्ट कर रहा हूं, मुझे जो है 2010 से बातचीत कर रहा हूँ स्टूडेंट से। इंजीनियरिंग के स्टूडेंट जो है अपना जो है 70 आई वुड से 80% of the students I interact with have wasted approximately 70% of their time in their 4 years of engineering. And that is why they lack clarity. तो जब क्लैरिटी है नहीं, किया नहीं, आपने टाइम वेस्ट किया क्वाड्रेंट 3, 4 में वेस्ट की जिंदगी गप मारने में, क्लासेस बंक करने में, तो जब एग्जाम आएगा तो फिर स्ट्रेस लोगे ना। फिर अब उसको स्ट्रेस दूर करने का मैं तरीका बता रहा हूं कि पुराना जो हिस्ट्री में चला गया वो तो नो कंट्रोल में है। अब जो है क्लैरिटी आने शुरू कर दो चीजें, देन आल्सो थिंग्स विल वर्क आउट। आई हैड अ स्टूडेंट व्हेन आई फर्स्ट इंटरव्यूड हिम, he had not finished his mechanical engineering degree, and he was very embarrassed when he spoke to me, and he practically hardly knew anything. He could hardly answer any question of mine, and his engineering degree was not over. And when his degree got over and when he went for job placement, he was placed in his core company line, and he was complimented by the persons who interviewed him कि यार तुम्हारा अपना बेसिक्स जो है कोर नॉलेज तुम्हारी अच्छी है। वो 3 महीने में मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग का काम सीख गया। फ्रॉम बीइंग अ जंक स्टूडेंट ही वाज कॉम्प्लीमेंटेड बाय द इंटरव्यूइंग पर्सन। यू कैन इमेजिन कि क्या हो रहा है आप लोगों के साथ में। आपके हाथ में है, सुधार सकते हो बहुत कुछ। प्लीज डू इट राइट नाउ। Yeah, next question, please.
Yes, sir. Vipul K is asking, sir, I am facing the problem of sleeplessness. How should I manage that?
You see, if it is of a serious nature, if it is not very serious, then the points I have told, good exercise, good food, the drinking fluids, getting your mind off these things are good ideas. But if the problem is acute, you may need psychiatric help because, and I'm not a trained psychiatrist. I'm a general person who works in the field of personality development.
Okay. Sir, Prakash is asking, sir, I have started preparing for government examination. My family is expecting me to get a government job quickly. I also want to become an officer and in defense. Sir, what should I do?
See, as far as defense services are concerned, the vacancies are pretty clear, and the training academies are being filled. And you can, I mean, it's a bad thing to say, but you can thank your stars as defense aspirants that China and Pakistan are there to foment trouble for India. तो जो है फौज की वैकेंसी तो फुलफिल होती रहेंगी. बाकी जगह जो गवर्नमेंट जॉब्स है, there's a problem, there is a great drive for privatization. Government jobs are reducing. So if you're looking for दूसरा सरकारी, vacancies, jobs, तो भाई ऐसा है कि more than 85% of jobs are in the private sector. Not more than 10 to 15% jobs are there in the organized sector. तो 85% को वहीं मिलने वाला है. आप इसके लिए ट्राई कर रहे हो तो it's a exercise in, you're fighting a losing battle if you go by the statistics. But once again, take heart. आपको फोकस करना है अपनी कॉम्पिटेंस एनहांस करने पे, जो डायरेक्ट कंट्रोल में है आपके. उन चीजों को करोगे तो ये वाले जॉब भी मिल जाएंगे. ये वरी करने से कुछ इंप्रूव नहीं हो जाने वाला है. We'll take last two questions.
Last two. Okay. Jatin Sharma is asking, sir, I have to prepare for CDS examination, but I belong to non-math background. I'm getting tensed every time, perhaps when he sees maths questions. What is your personal opinion on this?
My personal opinion is कि अगर तुमने 10वीं की भी मैथ्स ठीक से की हो तो you would be able to solve those problems. It should not be a big deal. तो करो. टेंस होने से तो कुछ फायदा होने वाला है नहीं. मैथमेटिक्स सीखने से फायदा होगा आपका. टेंशन लेने से क्या हो जाएगा? नुकसान ही होगा. वो बस यही तो पूरा लेक्चर में समझाया तुमको कि स्ट्रेस से तो कुछ भला तो हो नहीं रहा. गुड स्ट्रेस हमने पता. अगर वो आपको प्रेशर डाल रहा है, गिव यू द इम्पेटस टू फोकस एंड इंप्रूव योर मैथ्स, देन दैट्स अ गुड थिंग. And good maths would be required as an officer. It's not just clearing this exam. We need good mathematical abilities. There are a lot of complexities in the life of an officer. You have to handle, missiles, technical equipment is coming, सारा radar, से all that. तुम्हारा maths ही 10th तक का भी ठीक नहीं होगा तो इन चीजों को कहाँ से समझोगे यार? हमको भी देखना है ना जब हम सेलेक्ट करते हैं कि बंदे का मेंटल डेवलपमेंट ठीक ठाक है कि नहीं. You see, language ability and mathematical abilities are two very foundational skills. उनके पे सारी बाकी नॉलेज आपकी बिल्टअप है. वो ही अगर कमजोर है तो भाई उसको सुधार लो. भी स्टूडेंट ही हो. That will do you good in life anywhere, whether you फौज में आओ चाहे ना हो. Yeah, last question.
M. Kamil is asking, sir, my parents are not on good terms, and it has affected me emotionally. How do I cope with it? Because I think assessors can feel it. And I try to be positive at my level best, but I got conference out twice.
Firstly, do not try to hide anything. Be honest, because whatever happens in your family or in your growing days or environment where you come from has an impact on what you are as a person. So that's a fact. By hiding it, you can only reduce your chances of being selected. That's one thing. And once again, you see, the conduct of your parents is not in your control. It can be in your indirect control. And indirect control can be through your positive actions. If you are a good student and you remain focused and energized, probably it would have a calming influence on your parents. I can't assure that, but it may have. But you're also getting involved in the fights and all that and whatever. That's not going to resolve the thing. And worrying about these things doesn't help in any case. Fine. So that's the thing. And but I mean, the SSB is looking for a person who's competent to do a job. That is all. This your problems with your family and all that, they will not be taken against. We will not do that. Fine. So don't get bothered about that. Focus on your things.
Yes. Last, Dhiru Thakur is asking, sir, my aim is to become Lieutenant General. so how do I prepare for it?
बहुत घटिया एम है आपकी भाई साहब, ऐसा मत रखिए। खाली एम स्टेप बाय स्टेप रखिए। पहली एम इतना ही रखिए कि ऑफिसर बन जाते हैं। ऑफिसर बनने के बाद फोकस ऑन डूइंग योर जॉब वेल। अगर आप रैंक के चक्कर में पड़े, प्रमोशन के चक्कर में पड़े, ऑफ कोर्स लॉट ऑफ पीपल आर डूइंग दैट, then you are likely to be indulging in things which are not very good for the organization's health and may not be for your own health also. You may get promoted, but at the end of the day, after becoming a lieutenant general, you may feel a very hollow person. And I know a lot of such people. Don't get into that trap. जो दिखाने की चीजें होती है ना, झंडा, स्टार स्टार, ये दिखाने की चीजें होती हैं। असली दम आपसे होता है सेल्फ सेटिस्फैक्शन, जो आपके फैमिली और जो ट्रूप्स को आपने कमांड किया है उनकी आंख में जो दिखती है इज्जत, उसकी वैल्यू ज्यादा करिए। ठीक है ना? लेफ्टिनेंट जनरल बनने के चक्कर में मत रहो अभी से। I think let's keep it as the last question. Okay, thank you very much for sparing your time after Holi and listening to our talk and raising these questions. Thank you very much. Take care and God bless. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. So just a minute. People are asking, at least 2 people have said that kindly conduct such sessions. So we can plan that way. Someone has asked, sir, please conduct on time management, please conduct. So we can have such sessions for them in case in future.
Fine. Thanks a lot for your suggestions. We had a lean period in March because a lot of students are, busy writing their examinations and all that. And in this lean phase, I have got on to writing about economics, our budget, and getting into some of my writing work. And that's why we conducted this. I'm holding a talk with Delhi University students, and also will be speaking to General Yashmore. So we will do that. बट प्राइमरली यार देखो, टाइम का इशू होता है। मैंने भी अपना टाइम मैनेज करना है। अगर मेरे पास स्टूडेंट्स हैं और उनका प्रेशर, आई हैव टू चेक द रिटन वर्क, आई हैव टू स्पीक टू देम, डिस्कस देयर परफॉर्मेंस एंड ऑल दैट, फिर इन चीजों के लिए टाइम नहीं हो पाता है। टाइम रहेगा तो करेंगे, डिजायर इज ऑलवेज देयर, बट वंस अगेन आई हैव टू टेक अ जुडिशियस डिसीजन। अगर मेरे पास स्टूडेंट कम रहेंगे तो हम आते रहेंगे आपसे बातचीत करने, लेकिन अगर स्टूडेंट बढ़ जाएंगे, Yogita is smiling, फिर हम नहीं कर पाएंगे. No, it will not be possible. You understand that, Yogita, no?
Definitely. And for others who are posting us the questions like, please conduct such sessions on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. We do have such.
That we are doing. हाँ, उसमें सवाल पूछिए आपने.
Every Sunday 10 a.m. we are there for you. You can ask, join the session at that time as well. Sunday is holiday for most.
And बाकी जो है, हमारा YouTube चैनल फॉलो करो, हमारा वेबसाइट पे जाओ, जो चीजें मैं बात की हम लिख के भी डाल रहे हैं ना वहां पे, सब कुछ उसको पढ़िए। हाँ, पूरा मैंने इकोनॉमी की क्या सिचुएशन है, बजट का एनालिसिस, क्या रेकमेंड, सब लिख के डाला हुआ है। इट बी रेलेवेंट फॉर IAS aspirants and all also. I've done considerable research and all then written.
Okay, sir. Okay.
ठीक है। बाकी हमारा किताब है, उसमें ये प्रैक्टिकल गाइड में सारी चीजें समझाई हुई है, ये चीजें स्ट्रेस के बारे में है उसमें। We'll include these articles also there.
Okay. Achal, who had joined us, He's saying that this was a very nice and crisp discussion.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot for the encouragement. Okay, we'll take leave now, Yogita. Take care.
Yes, sir.
Bye bye. God bless.
Good day all.